If you followed my channel for a while, you will remember that I used to work at Dairy Queen, and it was fun. I enjoyed it. It was neat. Eventually, though, I had to change, and I kept my skill set sharp with the tailor machines. Now, I don't know if you've been awakened to the revival of the whole McDonald's tailor machines never get furnished. Anyway, so I worked on tailor machines. I wasn't a tailor mechanic, so I know how to take apart an ice cream machine, and I can fix an ice cream machine, put it back together, but I'm not a tailor mechanic, so that's actually kind of fun. I kept the job at Dairy Queen for about a year after I left there as an employee, and just kind of stayed an employee, but was only on like a 3 or 4 hour or 5 or 6 hour a week retainer to just come and clean the machines. And so I just kept that skill and just kept sharp and kept weird. It's just a weird skill. You know, no, not a lot of people are going to have a tailor machine ice cream background. So it was neat. It was fun. And so I never really left Dairy Queen. Interestingly, the guy who hired me has moved on to manage some different other stores. He's retired, but he still kind of takes on different people's failing stores, and he's a troubleshooter. He's almost like a mercenary. Well, I guess he is technically. He's a mercenary manager. He just goes in and fixes failing stores and just does what he needs to do, and then charges them exorbitant amounts just to fix their stuff. So he's at this place way out in the middle of nowhere. It's like an hour and a half away from where I live now. And he's like, Polly, I gotta have you out here. Come out to Baxley, Georgia. And I'm like, where's Baxley? He says, all the way to past almost to Pinehurst or somewhere out there, middle of nowhere, from what I know. And I'm like, okay, no problem. So I did the math, and he used to pay me $28 an hour, and now I'm like, well, cost inflation, you're gonna pay me $30 an hour. And so I said, it's about 8 hours, maybe, let's see, 6 hours, maybe 10-hour commitment. So let's hit $300, and I'll also take tips. So, and I Googled, or Glassdoor, something like that. Indeed, I think I looked at Indeed for emergency traveling mechanic, were my keywords, and then the average rate in Georgia is $31 an hour. So I said, well, that's not bad. $30 an hour, that's a good rate. So, and here's the interesting thing: you can have a job, but I'm not a big gambler, so I'm not going to take all of my eggs and put them in one basket and say, here is my paycheck. You know, I'm not going to do that, because I like security. So I don't want one job. I want 50 jobs. But of course, it's Friday night, and it's about an hour until Sabbath starts, so I couldn't do it tonight. So I told them I'd do it Sunday morning. So I'm going to get up at 1:30 in the morning and drive out there and work until like 9 or 10, and then hopefully be done. Having a weird skill set, being able to do lots of neat things, and there's nothing stopping you from doing this. You can go out and do this too. You can be a tailor mechanic, tailor machine, ice cream machine fixer. You just have to download the manuals of the tailor machines, start reading and memorizing them, and getting your hands on one and start taking it apart and putting it back together. There's nothing to it, but that's not the point. The point is that if you continue to just say yes to whatever income stream, eventually you're going to find something that you're really, really good at, really knowledgeable at, that not a lot of people are going to know. Not a lot of people are going to say, oh, you know, I can weld, or that's the thing. That is a common thing. I can take apart a brake caliper and put it back together with my eyes closed, with a Phillips head screwdriver and a pair of pliers. That's all I need. You know, you're just that guy who does that thing because you've been doing it. Or you can take apart a radio and put it back together, or, you know, old VCRs, or you're the PlayStation guy. You know, you take something apart, put it back together. Which is actually kind of funny. I said PlayStation because I actually did I did take a PlayStation apart, put it back together. All I did was clean it, and the guys that I was living with thought I was a genius. I'm like, no, it just had dust in it. And so, you just, if you're willing to get a jeweler's screwdriver and just start taking stuff apart, it's fun. I learned how a microphone works. I learned how just all sorts of weird stuff works just by taking it apart. And if you're just willing and you want to increase your knowledge, someone out there is going to pay you to do that. And so this is just a little video to tell you that I'm gonna go make $300 on a day that I didn't think I was going to be making money this way. But in my tool belt of wisdom, tool belt of knowledge, I've got this odd Taylor ice cream machine wisdom tucked in there, and every now and again I'll pull it out and go fix an ice cream machine and get paid $300. So there you go. Interesting and neat and just, kind of a wonderful little story. The larger the river, right? The larger the river, the greater the more numerous the income, the tributaries and rivulets and streams and beddys are leading into it. So you're going to have this tiny little river that was 5 streams up there. This is going to lead into this big river, and I mean, if you don't know, the Mississippi River starts way up in like Minnesota or Canada, I think it is. It's way up there. The fountainhead of the Mississippi River is up in Canada, and it just keeps getting fed by different little streams and other rivers, and it's kind of an amazing journey, just understanding how I can be bringing in all of these income streams and never really having to, I don't need a job, right? Because I have different income streams. So when your cash is flowing, hopefully in the positive, and I'm going to spend $10 in gas for a 3-hour round trip. Okay, I'll spend $15 to $20 in gas for a 3-hour round trip. And I'll just put it down, and I'll bring it down to 1800 RPM. I don't care what speed that is. I'll just keep it there because that's how I drive. I'm a very economic driver. But yeah, I'm just going to go and make the money. And then I'll tell you what, every single piece of me is going to be looking for other rivulets, other streams. So yes, I will take a book. Yes, I will bring my Blackbeard Creek Spice. I think I'm going to go ahead and take Let Go of Being Stupid, my book I've been working on, and maybe try to sell Bob a copy of that, just because I've got a couple more on hand of edition 1. Or I might just give it to him. Who knows? But you never know. You just keep your mind open and keep your willingness receptors and keep your eyes sharp. Like, oh, that guy looks like he needs his yard mowed. I have a mower. I'm not busy between 4:30 to 6 on Tuesday. Hey, buddy, you want your yard mowed? How much you charge? I don't know that price. 40, 50, 60, 70 bucks, depending on the yard, depending on my skill set, depending on what he wants done, right? And then I just made 50 bucks. Amazing. And this is it's just out there, man. Every single plot of ground on this earth has something on it. Every single thing, even if it's just a sand dune. I don't know how to harvest sand dunes for money. But most things have something growing on them. And most of these things, either when they turn in from the growing, that just happens naturally. Sometimes it's a cash crop, or it can become a building. You can harvest whatever from every resource. If you own it, don't steal it. You can put a building there, make it commercial, make it residential, make it industrial. It can be train tracks, it can be a road. But every piece of ground typically makes money somehow, some way, for someone. Even parks. There's sometimes a gate at the very beginning of a park to get in, or taxpayers pay for it. There's not a lot of empty land out there that's doing nothing. Somebody will make money off of that land, even if it's just to cut down all the trees and harvest the trees, or rent it out to some hunters so they can hunt deer. There's a cash business right there for you in the UP in Michigan. They'll have plots of land up there. Guys just come down, or sorry, go up or over from the mainland and just hunt. They each pay $100 a month or whatever, and they get to use the land for 2 or 3 weeks of the year. It's a timeshare hunting area. Lots and lots of ways to make money. Stay open, stay available, stay wise, stay in tune with how money works, and money can work for you. So, have a good day and be blessed. Don't be stressed. Just do your best and God will take care of the rest. See ya.